Now, some of you could be asking, why is it that most of the MPs that are allied to William Ruto or even the UDA party always do what the president wants them to do? And they always say what impresses the president of Kenya. Now, today in this video here, I want to dissect on that topic, but kindly before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive in. Before I begin on analyzing that topic critically, let me first give you examples of where these members of parliament have acted in support of William Ruto despite of the public's opinion against what the president is saying. Let me give it. The first one, it is the Finance Bill 2023. Public participation across the country, 95% of Kenyans rejected the Finance Bill 2023. But the MPs, despite of being the representatives of the people, they still went ahead to vote yes, yet the people said no. They voted yes in support of President William Ruto. That's example one. Example two, we also had the Finance Bill 2024. The Finance Bill 2024, despite Kenyans going to demonstrate in the streets, saying it all over on social media, going to churches, or even calling these MPs to ask them to vote no, they still went ahead to demonstrate their support to William Ruto by voting yes, despite the Kenyans who are voicing themselves in various platforms, and even some of them heading to parliament, being shot, but still MPs decided to vote yes. Another example is the issues to do with Adani, where we are having the MPs supporting whatever the president is saying. The NHIF transition from NHIF to SHIF, still the same thing. Our MPs have acted in a way that we should not expect our MPs to act. Then I went down to sit down, and I went and sat down and asked myself, why is it that these MPs are doing this exactly as Ruto, the way Ruto wants, despite having a different and contrary opinion from the people who elected them, who gave them the job? Now, the first reason that I came up with is the first one, that William Ruto funded most of these MPs during the campaigns. Some of them, when they were doing campaigns, they didn't have money or enough money to challenge the Azimio brigade. So they were well funded through Ruto's campaign, the presidential team, and they were given a huge amount of money that they distributed across, and actually, as a result, they managed to garner votes that made them the leaders they are in those capacities. So therefore, when someone is funding you, and then now it's like he's buying you to get into power, and now if this person has bought you, if you don't listen to what you're saying, probably there's a refund you should make, or that's going contrary to the expectations of someone who's helping you. So that is my reason number one. Reason number two is the rampant engagement in corruption. Most of these leaders that we're having right now, they have been given the freedom to manage the NCGDF, formerly known as the CDF funds. Most of them have embezzled the money, they've used them the way they want. And now as a result, they have trapped themselves. If you do the contrary, you'll be exposed. Apart from the CDF funds, we also have most of these leaders, as we speak right now, being given various tenders across the country. And to be honest, these people have really embezzled Kenya's funds. Most of them are building mansions right and left and center, and the government is fully aware of these guys on what they're doing. They have money they can dish out in funerals and other places, and that's a clear indication that there's a lot of corruption that's going on amongst the most parliamentarians in the country. So when these people are doing so, they are basically trapping themselves. If they decide to go against the president, that means they're going to be exposed, put in jail for embezzlement of public funds. For instance, you have an MP, his name is Waluke. This gentleman was sentenced to jail term of some years out of a corruption case, where he was found guilty of maybe embezzling about $1 billion or so. This gentleman, for him to be safe, he had to align himself to the president, and I speak right now, he's free as an MP and is working. This gentleman, if he dares go against the president of the Republic of Kenya, his court case will be restarted again, or maybe it will be revived. And as a result, you'll find him in jail once again, because it was a grievous mistake that he did. So therefore, the previous corruption cases amongst most of these leaders make them to be seriously loyal to the president, that's William Ruto. I can't rule out that there are also leaders who have been standing with President William Ruto ever since 2013. For instance, Sylvanus Osoro, when Matiang'i was against William Ruto, he went against the community and supported the President William Ruto. But that cannot be based on loyalty alone. It's also because of the support, financial support that he was always given by William Ruto during that time. Another thing I want to say here is the ambition of some of the MPs. Some of these leaders that you see like Ndindi Nyoro, Kimani Ichung'wah, they want to advance their political career, to become senators, to become governors, to become members of parliament, others to become presidents and deputy president of the country, others also to become kingpins, others to be very rich in this country. So therefore, they align themselves to the president to eat well and get the support when necessary, because they know William Ruto can fund their campaigns across the country. So therefore, you find that they have to be loyal to the president, listen to him whatever he says, whether it hurts the people or not. I can't also rule out the fact that Kenyans are also great contributors to these people becoming the way they are. Not listen to them, but listen to their godfathers, that is the President William Ruto, or even Raila Amolo Odinga. It's because Kenyans also are bought to vote. You pay these guys money, you pay them this money, you pay them money. So this payment of money, if someone does not have enough and the president comes in and chips in and this person gets more money, that's an indirect contribution by Kenyans to make them loyal to the president instead of loyal to them. So therefore, it's a whole system that we have as a country that has made some of these leaders to be the way they are. Another thing I want to say is the tribal decisions. You know, we have to accept that Kenya, as we speak right now, it's a tribal country, and the politics of this country are tribal. If President William Ruto comes from a region like now, Rift Valley, and you are an MP from Rift Valley, whatever the president says, you have to support whether your people like it or not, because he comes from a region. If you don't, you'll be perceived as a traitor, first of all, a sellout, or maybe be treated as somebody who has really sabotaged the president, and as a result, you'll be risking your career as a politician, and you might be voted out. This was evidenced by some of the leaders like Mishra from Kesas. This gentleman was very nice and hardworking, but the moment he supported Uhuru Kenyatta and President Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, his career politically was finished, despite being a good man, and a certain person who was different took over. You have to admit that Mishra was a performer, but the moment he went against William Ruto, and he comes from the region of William Ruto, he was caught up by the axe of ensuring that all those leaders that were against William Ruto at that time are out of politics in that region completely. So that is basically what happened to Mishra. So in a nutshell, you have to support the president if he comes from your places. Another thing I want to say is foolishness. There's some leaders that you've elected into power who completely don't take their time to think. They usually listen, hear what the rest are saying, and they also do it. So as a result, you find that these people, they are constantly doing what the president wants. If they don't do so, you realize that they basically mess up their relation with the president, or it happens that they even mess up their careers. So they assume that, because they don't know most of the things that are happening, they keep listening and following what other people are saying. They don't make independent decisions. Now, you find them, but one thing that with these guys is that you find them working well on the ground, so they're making some of these electorate love them. But they always go against what the electorates say. That is my video there and there. Kindly, if this is the first time once again you're watching our videos, please make sure that you subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you all can always give this channel. My name is Abdul. See you next time for more videos.